Welcome back, guys, to episode 4 of our official Aether Revolt Set review. Today we'll be looking at all the red cards in the set. I'm Incredible Bad Gaming.
And I'm zmagic 94.
With that in mind, let's dive right in and look at our first card. Aether Chaser. First strike, whenever it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 1/1 color server, artifact creature token. Yep, this is so far the best one. 2 mana, 2/1 first strike is
So good.
so good. Putting servos is great.
Dude, this card's very good in your aggressive deck.
I give this a 3.5, to be honest.
Yeah, I really want this. This is a very good common.
Yeah, this is the best of the Aether's blank cycle.
Yeah.
But I think this is like a 3.5, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think a 3. Chandra's Revolution, sorcery, 3 in a red. Chandra's Revolution deals 4 damage to target creature. Tap target land. That land doesn't untap during its creature's next untap step. Weird removal spell, but good.
Yeah, weirdly good. It's going to set your opponent back kind of a turn, and 4 damage is good enough to kill anything in the
4 is the magic number.
Yep.
There's a few 5s, but 4 is usually the magic number.
Sorcery is a little unfortunate.
But that's fine, though. You still get to tap a land and put him back. I play this in limited. It's a good removal spell.
I think it's a 3. I think it's a 3.
It doesn't hit vehicles, though, but it puts them so far behind, though.
Yeah, but not a lot hits vehicles, right?
No.
I guess.
Sure, It doesn't hit vehicles, but this is also just really good.
This could be worse than we're thinking it is, just because it doesn't hit vehicles. But it depends. Like, we've seen the good vehicles, and there are some good vehicles, so who knows? But
not a lot of things deal 4 damage to a creature.
Yeah, like this reminds me of Tidy Conclusion, where I wouldn't want to play more than 2.
Yeah. I wouldn't play a lot of these. I'm just saying this is solid.
Yep, solid removal. You're probably gonna want, if you get 1, you're happy, in my opinion.
I think 2 is good.
Destructive Tampering. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact. Creature without flying can't block.
Oh, stop. There.
This is purely sideboard.
Yeah.
And even then, it's
a good sideboard card.
Yeah, I wish it was an instant, but.
Yeah, but it has the nice clause of like it's a dual effect and sideboard, which is sweet.
I'd say it's like a 1.5, a 1 maybe. Sideboard, like your standard sideboard rating, in my opinion.
Brawl, Gear Smasher, 2 in a red. Human Warrior, Smash. Sacrifice an artifact.
Smash!
Brawl, Gear Smasher deals 2 damage to each opponent. This card's not very... I mean, okay, it's a great enabler.
It's a great way to get revolt, and it's a great way to...
deal damage.
To deal damage to your opponent.
It's also just a 2/3 for 3, which is fine.
It feels like a 2 and sometimes a 2.5. Like it feels like deck filler. Feels like
it's very synergistic, and it's very good. Yeah, I like it.
I think it's a 2.5. But I think I would cut. I think this is a 23rd playable. Enraged Giant, 6 mana, improvised trample haste. This thing, if you play it on turn 4, is insane.
If you play it on turn 3, it's even better. Oh my gosh, this card is so good.
Yeah, this is really good. This is
4/4 trample haste that just stays around, no downside after you get that out.
Even on turn 5, it's fine.
Yeah.
Haste and trample, like
no, just drawing off the top of the deck and playing 6 mana for this is fine.
Yeah,
this thing is like sweet.
This thing's like a 3.5 in my opinion. It's
a
really good
so
uncommon.
Good.
Especially in the top end of an aggro list. Woo.
Yeah, you just play like one of these, and you just like, all right, well, drew my 4 damage right here. Really like this.
Really like this card. I think it's a 3.5. Free Gem Regent. 6 mana, 2 red, 4 colorless. Improvise, flying. Red colors. Free Gem Regent gets +2/+1 on the turn. This is really good. I think we talked about this before in our last one, but yeah, if you play this on turn 5, a 5 mana 4/4 fly, you play this on turn 4, 4 mana.
I think this is
4/4
a solid
fly.
4 or 4.5.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd rate it that high. I think it's a solid 3. It dies to removal.
I guess it dies to that. I guess it dies to that common removal.
4 toughness is.
It dies to that common removal.
There's a lot of decent removal, so I think this is more of a 3.5. You're pretty happy about playing it, and I probably would first pick it, but it's not going to win you every game.
Sure.
And it's definitely a good finisher.
Sounds good.
The fire breathing being +2/+0 is very good.
I think because it's not as red dependent. This card's sweet.
Frontline Rebel, 3 mana, 3/3, attacks each turn. If able, it's a human. It's a warrior. Very good in aggressive deck. If it had haste, it'd be better, but it's still pretty good in aggressive deck. 3
I think
power,
this card's
3
solid.
toughness, good. Yeah, seems like deck filler. I'd say it's a 2.5 sometimes, and then it's a 3 sometimes. But
I
I
mean,
think you're going to
having to
play this in
attack
aggressive decks.
is sort of a downfall, but I mean, it's being a 3/3, so
It looks like if you're red, you're going to want to be aggressive. So this thing is fine. I think
right.
it's like a 2.5, sometimes a 3. It just depends on the list you're running.
I mean, there are some O4s, but not that many.
No.
There are not that many.
I think 3 power is where you want to be, and 3 toughness is also kind of where you want to be. So I think this thing does a lot, and will usually trade up. Obviously, the attacking each combat is frustrating, but yeah, I think it's fine. Gremlin Infestation. This card is flavorful. Enchant Artifact. At the beginning of your end step, Gremlin Infestation deals 2 damage to Enchanted Artifact's controller. When an Enchanted Artifact is put into a graveyard, create a 2/2 red Gremlin creature token. This is like a stab wounds almost.
It's pretty sweet.
Artifacts. It's flavorful.
So it only does 2 so it does 2 damage right off the bat, and when it dies, you get a 2/2.
It just doesn't stop their artifact from doing something. So
Right.
if they have a really good artifact, it doesn't do much besides 2 damage. So like sometimes this card does nothing, in my opinion. Sometimes like 2 damage is not super relevant. So sometimes this card is like a 1.5, a 2.
It's super swingy.
Maybe sometimes it's like a 2.5, in my opinion.
I think the card is really, really swingy. What if he doesn't have an artifact that does nothing? Yeah, I think it's a good sideboard card.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think most people are going to be playing artifacts in the main deck, though. Why would your
Yeah.
opponent not have an artifact?
Generally, your opponent's going to have some sort of artifact. But if you play this on a servo, you're going to be really sad. So
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. It does 2 damage, and then
I guess they're just going to attack with the servo.
it does 2
but,
damage,
like,
and then
they're
it's
not
going to
gonna
die. Like, they don't want to take 2 every turn.
It's really weird card. This is one of the weirder cards. It's going to be very hard to rate. It might be good. It might be bad. It might be just sideboard tech. Who knows?
Hungry Flames.
Hungry
2 in a
Flame.
red. Instant. Deals 3 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. Wow.
I want it.
I want it every time. Wow, this
You
is
want
insane.
this. 3.5. Probably
This is
solid 3.5.
so good.
Really good in red.
Wow.
Pretty good burn spell. Like, removal and dealing 2 damage for 3 at instant. Seems very good. This is probably... Yeah,
the
this
best
is probably,
red removal spell we've seen so far, but
yeah, it's uncommon.
it's
But
very
I
good
would definitely
removal
first
spell.
pick this. This is the card I would first pick.
Indomitable creativity. X red. Already like, well, okay, that's kind of crazy. Sorcery Mythic. Destroy X target artifacts and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of his or her library until an artifact or creature card is revealed and exiles that card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield and then shuffle their library. Don't play this card.
I don't know. If you need to get rid of something,
No, all right.
if you need to get rid of something, it's a 4-mana removal spell. That also you play the lotto. What if they put like, if you really need removal, play it.
0.5.
If you really need removal, play it. But I give them creativity.
This is like
the
those fun
indomitable
cards you
kind.
play in Commander because you have nothing else you want to play.
Invigorated Rampage. Choose one. Target creature gets +4/+7 gains trample on the turn. Two target creature gains +2/+7 gains trample on the turn. This is an amazing pump
The
spell.
versatility of this card. Wow, just
It does a lot. This might be a pump spell that's like a 4 in my opinion. I'm not even kidding. At a 5, this thing is insane. If they're tapped out, 4 and trample. Whew.
it's also
Plus
so
2 plus
versatile.
0 and trample.
Like,
Man.
if they only block one of your guys, all right, I'll get them on that guy. Like, if they
Yeah.
block 2 of your guys, I'll get that. This is so good.
Yeah, it's like a 4. This is really, really good pump spell. Jesus, for 2 mana too.
I want this pump spell. This is like one of the... I'm not really high on pump spells because they can go badly so easily.
But this really can't
But
because
this is a really good pump spell.
you can spread out your +2/+0 and trample.
Yeah, you can put it on 2, 3 for these, and you're like, oh, okay, I win the game now. This is so hard to play around. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if just trading with their guys for 2 mana is insane. Like, oh, I traded my 2 service, and then I get Revolt too.
Kari Zev Skyship Raider. Red, 1 colorless, legendary creature. It's a human pirate. When at first strike Menace, whenever Kari Zev Skyship Raider attacks, create a legendary 2/1 red monkey creature token named Ragavan that's tapped and attacking. Exile that token at the end of combat. Wow, so first strike Menace, putting a 2/1 onto the board. You make a
Geist.
monkey. You make a legendary monkey token. So for the flavor, it's a 5 out of 5, which is why I'm putting it on my favorite cards list, because you make a legendary monkey token, and who doesn't like legendary monkey tokens? I really like this card. This card just like
Death by
screams to
Monkey.
me.
Like, how can they
Screams
block
to me.
how can they block your first strike Menace guy when you have that red trick up? They can't.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's 2 mana. It's a 1/3 for 2 mana with two key abilities that also gets 2/1s when it attacks.
Well, it's legendary, so it only gets one. But yeah.
No, I know, but it gets 2/1 when it attacks. I know, but
yeah, it's basically a 2 mana 3/3 almost because it generates 3
even
power
better. It has
when you're
first strike and
attacking.
menace.
Yeah, easily a 4. I think it's easily a 4.
Oh yeah, this is a card I want in my aggressive deck. Carry Zev. The Carry Zev is just like a beast. Expertise. Sorcery, 1 red. Gain control of target creature or vehicle until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste, and you may cast a 2-drop. Oh wow, that's really good.
In limited, I don't know how good. Like this is like
This is insane. The tempo swing?
How many good converted to mana cost? Yeah, I guess in aggro decks it's really good. Yeah,
No,
maybe.
You just play.
Maybe I'm undervaluing it. Just because hijack wasn't very good, but
This is so much better than hijack because you can play something for free. This is more constructed, obviously, but
yeah,
this
I
is.
still think
I think
it's
it's
like
better than hijack for way better than hijack.
I think it's like a 3 in not in limited. Sorry, in constructed it's different, but I think it's like a 3 in limited. Playing something for 2 or less converted mana cost isn't great, but yeah.
You have to remember there are so many 2 mana things in these sets.
Yeah, no, I agree. But if you don't play if you don't have any good 2 mana things, it's not great. It's like hijack.
Sure. Okay, sure. It's hijack at its worst, which is still fine sometimes.
So I think maybe it's even less than a 3. If you're able to play something from your hand, it's a 3. If you're not, it's like a 2.
I like this card a lot. I'm putting it on my list. Just a 5/4 for 5.
Sure, if you need big things.
If you need
I'd
one.
say this is a 2. It's a 2.
1.5.
Okay, that's it.
Lightning Runner.
3 colorless, red, double strike haste. When non-runner attacks, you get 2 energy. Then you may pay 8 energy. If you pay, untap all creatures you control, and after this phase there's an additional combat phase.
Wow.
So this thing has the chance to be broken if you can get something that can generate enough energy when you attack.
Like if you have 6,
you can have infinite you can technically have infinite combat phases.
Oh yeah, because it's not limited to one more. It's just so good though.
No, it's not limited to one more.
I
I'm
know.
just saying, if you can generate 8 energy every attack,
yeah,
you go infinite.
This is so
it's
good.
It's also double strike. It also has haste. I think this is like
oh, it's turn 4. I'm not gonna die. Plays on turn 5, dies. Like
it reminds me of a Warriors War Leader.
Yeah, it's War Leader, but like not as good.
I think it's like a 3.5.
It's worse than War Leader.
I think if you can generate enough energy on attacking, I think it's like a 3.5, and it's fine at the top end of an aggro deck.
It's also a double strike haster.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah,
those are relevant keywords.
This card's great. I like it a lot. Pias Revolution. 2 and a red. Whenever a non-token artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Pias Revolution. Deal 3 damage to him or her. This is very good in limited.
Yep.
They can never kill your artifacts, or you can just keep sacking them.
Yeah. Well, no, you can't do servos.
I know, but but you can keep sacking other ones. It's like actually just me. I mean, it's not insane in limited.
It's kind of a build-around deck, but I think it's like a 2.5.
I think it's a solid mid. I think it's a mid-pack pick.
Yeah, you're not gonna first pick this. It's just gonna be like, it's a way to finish the games, unless they want to keep giving you back your thing. If it wasn't token, if it was any artifact,
this is no white-black god.
No. I think it's like a 3. It's not a 3. Sorry, I think it's like a 2.5, maybe a 2.
Yeah, maybe it's lower. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, Puzzle Knots with this is really good.
I think it's just really cool. Maybe that's my problem with it.
Puzzle Knots with this, like the green Puzzle Knot with this.
Oh yeah.
They either have to.
Oh yeah.
They either have to take 3 damage, or they have to keep taking. Or we keep getting 6.
Yeah.
Or the blue one, we get the Scry Lot. Or the white one, we just keep getting servos. So.
I think this card's cool. Precise strike. Red. Instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and first strike. First strike is so good on stuff.
This card is gonna blow out your opponent a lot for 1. I think it's like a 2.5, maybe a 3.
Yeah, it's a 1 for. I mean, it's a combat trick, so combat tricks can go terribly. But this is a blowout card when it goes well.
You usually want to play 1 mana combat tricks, right?
Yep, and this is the perfect one to do.
Yeah.
You leave up that 1 mana, they're scared after they see it the first time. Picksmith Rebel. 3 and a red. When it enters battlefield, target creature gains. This is another fragile of the Rebel cycles. So this artifact deals 2 damage to creature or player. So it's a shock attached to it, which is fine. It's a 3 mana, 3/2 body with a shock. The first time, it's really good. It's fine the first time. If it stays around for a turn, it's even better. Then it gets even better. Then it gets even better. This whole Revel cycle is like good into insane, depending on if it stays.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's just as good as the blue one, right? I would rate it very similarly to it.
It's very swingy.
So it's like 2.5, maybe a 3. It's definitely not a first pick one, pack one, or pack one, pick one, whatever one you want to go. But yeah, it's fine. I think it's a fine rare if you see it and you're in red. Yeah, you probably take it.
Reminiscence Intruder. It's a Tog.
We have a Tog, but it's artifacts, right? So
No,
this can be very good.
A Tog was artifact. It's actually just a Tog.
Is it?
It's just the same as a Tog, except it's uncommon instead of common. It's the only difference.
I don't know how good this is going to be honest.
They have to block it.
Yeah, they're going to have to start blocking it. Otherwise, you start gaining a lot of... But it doesn't go very wrong, because if they have mana open and you start stacking stuff, and then they bounce it or kill it.
You just do it when they don't have stuff. That's how you work with... Like, I play Affinity in Pauper, and that's just like, you don't go for it unless like you have to, or they're closed off. It's really good. Obviously better than Pauper than this, but still really good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's good. I can't really. There's nothing really else to say about it.
That's a Soul Ring, by the way. It's around.
Yeah, that's a flavor win right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's like a 2.5.
Yeah, it's solid, but it's bad when you don't activate any artifacts. But this is a very good enabler for Revolt. It's a Tog.
You can do anything.
Reckless Racer, 2 in a red. Human Pilot. First strike, when it becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, so you get to rummage every time it gets tapped.
This is really good because you can crew things with it.
Yep, it's a 2/3 for 3. It has first strike.
First strike, which is also relevant.
Wow,
I think this card's pretty good. I think this card's like a 3, a 3.5, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
I would take this a lot of the time.
I'm so happy with this card. Release the Gremlins. Double XX red. Destroy X target artifacts. Create X gremlins.
I just really like gremlins, so I'm gonna put this on my favorite list because I want to release all the gremlins. They're just like the coolest looking creatures. I don't know. They look like antelopes. Yeah, this is a great sideboard rare in limited.
Yep.
Destroying target artifacts is good.
It's basically the best sideboard rare.
Yeah. So it's like a 1.5.
Actually, no. I would main deck this. Everyone's gonna have artifacts in their deck.
I guess 3 mana destroying artifact generated 2/2 is not bad. So yeah, maybe it's like a 3.
And then late game it's just like late game it's like I have 9 mana. Let me make 4 gremlins.
Maybe it's like a 2.5. I would say it's like a 2.5.
I think I would play it. I would just be like mid pack pick. This card's sweet. Scrapper Champion, 3 in a red. Human Artificer, double strike. When it enters, you get 2 mana or 2 energy. Sorry. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 energy. You put a 1/1 counter on it. So it gets enough energy for the first time when you attack. It is a 3/3 double striker.
Yeah, this thing is
wow.
Really good.
They really like double strike and first strike in red. Red is so aggressive in limited. If red was not aggressive enough, it is more aggressive.
This thing is crazy. You think about all the 2-drops and 3-drops that have energy.
Okay, it dies
in
to
red,
shock.
green, and limited. Like the Thriving Grubs and the Rhinos. This thing just like feeds so well into that list, right?
Oh yeah.
Like if you're playing a red green aggro and limited with draft or like anything like that, right? Just feed into that.
This pulls me into red, but it also dies to shock. But it's just so good.
I think it's like a 3.5.
Oh yeah, it is so good.
If it dies, if you play it and it dies,
it is a human and an artificer as well.
3.5.
Yeah, it's 3.5. It's always good.
We all know what shock does.
Shock is so good all the time.
Shock is very good. If they're not gonna put lightning bolt, then we'll get shock instead.
I mean, this is probably the best common in the set. So
yeah, moving on.
This is 1 in double red, +3/+0, and first strike to a creature or artifact, or a creature or a vehicle it equipped. It also makes the vehicle a creature. It's such, as we discussed earlier, I think they're good sideboard cards against the non-blue decks, but I just would hate to get blown out main deck with these.
Yeah, I think they're okay.
It feels real bad when it's bad, and then
But it's pretty good. It's pretty okay in an aggressive list if you're really, really aggressive. But yeah,
you don't mind getting blown out if you're really, really aggressive.
I think it's like a 2.
It's better than the white one, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's still bad.
I think it's like a 2, maybe a 1.5, to be honest.
Sweatworks Brawler. It's 3 in a red. Improvise Menace 3/3. Human Artificer. Also Human Artificer. It's also sweet. Solid card. You can play it on turn 3 for 3 mana most of the time.
Probably a 3. 3/3 for 4 with 3 colorless. Probably a 3 out of 5. I think it probably goes in your deck. If you can play it on turn 3, you're pretty happy, to be honest.
Menace 3/3 for 3. Wrangle 1 in a red. Sorcery, gain control of target creature with power 4 or less until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Wow, another effect.
I think this is a good sideboard card because, yeah, how much stuff is going to have more than 4 power that's not that you'd want to take that was hijacked and it's just cheaper?
It's also 2 mana and it's really easy to cast.
Yeah, I think this is like sideboard.
Really good sideboard card.
I think it's like a 1.5 to a 2.
Probably a 2. But it's a sideboard 2.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's probably a 1.5 because it's a sideboard card.
What do we think about red? I thought red
so aggressive.
Very aggressive, very good. I think red is the best color that we've done so far. It has the most solid commons and uncommons.
Better than white?
Yeah, it has the most solid uncommons and commons. It's got some really good top end. Like, I think it has everything we need. It's got some of the best removal in the format. Like, I think it's by far the best color. I would rate red as the highest, and I'd rank white right behind it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the red section of our official Aether Revolt Set review. Once again, I've been Incredibad Gaming.
And I've been zmagic94.
And if you like what you saw, you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitter at Incredibad_game, or on Twitch at Incredibad_gaming.
And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at zmagic94. And if you like this content and want more like it, you can check out teamnfgbot.com.
With that in mind, stay tuned for our next episode, which will be episode 5, the green block of this set. See you guys next time.